You didn't even disavow the assassination of Donald Trump, bro.
I wish. It was the assassination attempt, okay?
Oh, yeah.
This firefighter was also just a working man as well.
But I'm supposed to have like an unlimited reservoir of sympathy for a guy who supposedly God guided the bullet into. I guess if you listen to half the troubles when they talk about that assassination attempt.
We on the left should be, like, better.
The way you be better is just don't be the one that pulls the trigger.
Welcome back to Rattlesnake TV, guys. In this video, we're going to be watching a very recent event where Destiny was on stage and challenged by some people. They were mainly liberals who came up, but there are a few good ones here as well. And he really exposes what he truly believes. But I mean, this is nothing new. Destiny has been saying all of these absolutely demonic and unhinged things for quite a while now, but he just continues to double down. I mean, the event was by Pangburn, and it's clearly a very anti-Trump event. They think they're doing some sort of a rebellion, and it starts with this really soy rant.
I am sick and tired of the lying, of the extortion of Ukraine while they're under war duress from Russia. I am sick and tired of these appointments. RFK Jr. is literally the king of anti-science. Do you guys agree? Some of you? So this is why I brought the anti-Trump tour to the United States. I'm Canadian, and you just got fucking invaded. So rock and roll. 51st state, my ass. So just clip all that and like tag Trump in it somewhere.
So anyways, that marks the tone. So let's get into the first bit now, where a guy called Jake gets up, friend of mine. I've been on his channel before. He has a channel called Project VO Pod, so go and check him out if you want to see more of his stuff. But he gets up and he actually does the best out of all of them.
So Destiny, I wanted to ask you this, man. You've stated in the past that I guess that the MAGA right is notorious for violence. You've said this, you called them degenerates, etc. That Trump kind of insinuates a lot of the rhetoric and the actions of Trump supporters. Am I more or less correct on that?
I don't usually criticize him for violence. I think the tendency, I mean, especially since the BLM stuff, there's more, at least cumulatively, violence for left-leaning people. But I would also kind of expect that right now, given the state of affairs. So.
Oh, okay. So, wait, when you say that you expect the violence from the left on the state of affairs,
as in, like, if you have like a certain system where people feel like somebody is completely and totally out of line, and that person is using the power of the executive to be totally out of line, well, they're like, what would conservatives even enact violence about? They would have nothing to protest. They'd have nothing to riot over. I imagine it would be probably more left-leaning people that would be rioting.
That would be rioting?
Yeah.
So, like, for example, like the Tesla burnings that were happening, it was all premeditated. They had the, what is it, the Doge, DogeChase.com or something like that kind of premeditated all that. So, like, my thing is that when I look at the Trump election and how he got elected, and maybe I can ask you this, I think one of the reasons that Trump got elected in the first place was because when you say, like, for example, with your other opponent here, when you say the MAGA right is a cult, I'm thinking in my head that the Democratic Party at this point is actually a cult as well, you know, regardless of what it is. Now,
who's our cult leader?
Oh, well, here's the thing. I don't know who the cult leader is, but it's the Democratic Party as a whole, right? No, well, here's the thing. It could be a cult without it because, like, for example, vote blue no matter who. You've heard that phrase, right? The anti-Trump tour, like we're on right now. It's a cult that's against Trump no matter what, right? So we've seen this to where Elon Musk at one point had the Tesla vehicles that a lot of left-wing people were buying. Then, of course, Elon Musk wasn't necessarily supporting Trump at first. He was a Ron DeSantis guy, etc. Then he turned to Trump. Then we saw that after he supported Trump and he donated it to him, we saw a lot of the left wing kind of burn down Teslas and be violent about this, right?
Well, I don't really think that was the only thing he did. I think it was also the fact that he joined Trump as an unelected bureaucrat and began unilaterally shuttering federally approved agencies in the government while, like, engaged in the most insane over-the-top rhetoric on X.
What's the most insane over-the-top?
By constantly calling for judges to be impeached or imprisoned, or saying that...
Which judges? I'm not too...
the recent judge that just made a ruling related to, basically anytime a new TRO gets issued, I think that he's done it for the Zini lawyer. I think he's done it for Brasberg. But he tweets about judges.
So he wanted to get them removed because he
doesn't like it when they issue a TRO against Trump. But wait, just real quick, you're not familiar with Elon engaging in any like anti-judicial rhetoric on X?
I know Elon Musk has stated that he doesn't like these individuals, which is fair enough. He has his opinion, right?
But it's not just his opinion, right? He's like the richest man in the world. Who's
sure, but you have an opinion too. Like, for example,
I'm not an elected official. I don't work in government.
Well, you have a huge influence when it comes to your audience, right?
Yeah, but I don't work in government.
Yeah, but what does that matter? Like, here's the thing.
Well, if
When
I
it
was
comes
part of
to-
the government
when
and I
it
was calling
comes
for
to-
another part of the government to be destroyed,
Yeah, but I would make an argument that influencers and even actors, etc., actually have more influence on the public than even politicians.
Than most politicians. Is
And most,
true.
yeah, that's
But
why.
Donald Trump, because he's a cult leader, probably
Sure,
not.
but even with you, I think you have more influence than on the public than most politicians. Which
individual. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah,
probably true. That's what
than
I'm
most
saying.
for sure, especially city
Yeah.
council.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when you say, well, I don't work in government, at the same time, I could say, yeah, but you have more influence on the public than most politicians. Right?
No, I agree. I was just pointing out why people would probably have such a visceral reaction to everything Elon Musk has done. I think it's super warranted that people would feel horrified by it.
Right. No, yeah, for sure. Okay, I get you there.
So Jake has a point here. He says that Destiny is extremely influential, and we're going to see exactly what kind of beliefs he peddles. But just the fact that Destiny has the audacity to call anybody else unhinged like Elon Musk, considering the things that he says online, is absolutely mind-blowing to me. But he's not a part of the government, guys. He's just one of the biggest liberal streamers in the entire world. So it's okay when he does it. Well, I guess he's not a part of the government. And he's very mad that Elon has opinions. But I tell you who is a part of the government? Kamala Harris, when she was bailing out BLM terrorists.
She actually raised funds to bail out criminals early. One of those criminals that her fund bailed out just a few weeks ago murdered somebody 3 weeks after being released on bail that now Vice President Harris's fund provided.
All of the Democrats who were calling Trump Hitler and saying that he is an existential threat.
The president is literally an existential threat to America.
Which led to multiple assassination attempts on his life.
Look what happened.
The double standard is mind-boggling. Now on to the next part before we get there, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoy this content. And also, if you love debate content, political analysis, and cultural analysis, then make sure to subscribe to the channel.
But I wanted to shoot this back here. When you were stating that, when I was stating that one reason that I think that Donald Trump specifically won this election was also because I think that the left, like you admitted earlier, is notorious for violence, right? We had the BLM riots, the Chaz that happened, right, in Seattle, the Tesla burnings. So I think a lot of the people that voted for Trump was also noticing that the left is absolutely lunatics when it comes to this type of rhetoric. And Maxine Waters, even in 2016, when she was, when Trump won his first term, where she was saying, get in the face of MAGA supporters. When I was, because I'm from South Texas, I would wear a fucking MAGA hat at a bar, and I was getting attacked by people that didn't like that. You know, I think this is what drove a lot of people towards Donald Trump to vote for him, wouldn't you say?
I mean, it's possible. But
don't you think it's
what?
kind of a big deal, though?
No, because I think that they don't talk about any of the violence that their side is ever supporting, either explicitly or implicitly, at all points in time as well. So, how am I supposed to feel bad that people are complaining about Tesla dealerships being burned down, but then they're clapping when people are being deported without due process from this country? I have absolutely no sympathy. And the fact that they can keep doing this hand-wringing of like, the left is so bad and they won't disavow these people, even though the left has to disavow its own side all the time. When Biden...
I don't see any of the left doing that, though.
I don't know how much you're looking at.
Well, I watch your show.
Okay, well, Biden literally...
You didn't even disavow the assassination of Donald Trump, bro.
I wish. It was an assassination attempt, okay?
Oh, yeah, the assassination...
I'm just kidding. Hey,
but am I right there, Destiny? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Just jokes.
So not a joke at all. He totally believes that. He 100% wishes that Trump was assassinated, and he has been a complete and utter demon on this topic. In case you forgot, let's have a recap.
Fuck it. Fuck the dude, the firefighter guy. Fuck Trump. Fuck the people that support him.
And he's never backed down from this. He's only ever doubled down on this line of logic. He says, well, you know what? I'm allowed to say this because MAGA people say all kinds of horrible things and do all kinds of horrible things all of the time. Whilst, of course, he says the most horrible things imaginable. Okay. And so in the next section, a liberal gets up and starts questioning him about the death of Corey Compratore and Destiny's thoughts on that situation. And well, you'll see.
So one of my biggest problems that I had was watching you on Piers Morgan after the Trump attempted assassination. I think you can see where I'm going with this. So I have the question written out for you. So why is the CEO that's in charge of many lives, the health CEO, why do you have more sympathy for him than you did for a firefighter that died?
First of all, I don't even know what that CEO guy's job necessarily was. The idea that we're going to say that just working at or being a C-level exec of, I guess, a health insurance company or something means that you could be executed on the street, we're beyond like anarchy at that point. That's an insane standard to set. The thing that I don't like about MAGA supporters is I feel like that movement is quite literally now more than ever is like destroying this country in like literal senses, in spiritual senses, in so many different ways. So I mean, if there's like violence is occurring at these rallies or whatever, like it's very hard for me to feel sympathetic, I guess. Like, I don't think anybody should go and kill anybody, but like, of course, it's such an unbelievably destructive and horrible movement. And it also feels really bad to see all of the Trump supporters. It feels like they're kind of like just clapping along with all of it too, which I think is also really strange.
But I mean, again, this firefighter was also just a working man as well. I mean, like, what's the difference? Like, there isn't much of a difference other than the political view. And I feel like this rhetoric is what pushes a lot of people away from the left.
I just so don't give a fuck. Donald Trump in his first term tried to deport every single person that was brought here as a minor under DACA. Those people didn't do anything wrong. Those people are registered with the government. They're not committing crimes. They're going to school here. Like, all of those are good people. I didn't hear a single word from any Republican about how absolutely fucking horrific it would be to just kick every single one of those children out of this country. But I'm supposed to have like an unlimited reservoir of sympathy for a guy who supposedly God guided the bullet into. I guess if you listen to half the Trumples when they talk about that assassination attempt, like, I'm sorry, but like the guy on Twitter was just as unhinged as every other Trumple. What was he saying? Like, oh, like, there were a few things. One, I think a joke about the nuking Japan or something. It was something about like choosing Putin over Hillary to be president or some just unhinged shit. Like, again, I don't necessarily think anybody deserves to die or anything for political stuff, but even what I just said right there, like for political stuff, like what is just political stuff to some people is a deportation for another person, or an unjust incarceration for another person, or the deprivation of material or economic conditions for another person, or the ability to do scientific research, or to administer a vaccine, or to study in this country, or to, trade in a way that keeps your business working abroad. Like, all of those types of violence just fly completely under the radar. And then when there's like one visceral piece of violence, all of a sudden Republicans are running around searching for sympathy. And it's like, bro.
So just an unfathomable level of projection and double standard going on here. His excuse for not caring about this man's death, this family man and firefighter's death.
There's a guy with a smile that lit up a room, volunteered here for years, doing life-saving stuff for complete strangers, putting his life on the line.
Is that, well, he also said some pretty unhinged things on Twitter. Well, Destiny, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if saying unhinged things on Twitter warrants death, then you should be celebrating every day, my friend. Let's carry on with the last bit.
But don't you think we on the left should be like better than the people on the right? Like, that's the whole, like, that's our whole thing, like, of like being on the left.
Yeah, I think the way you be better is just don't be the one that pulls the trigger. But I mean, you don't have to go out here and like endlessly appease people that are shitting on your side, that are celebrating violence on your side, that are clapping like retarded seals every time Ketamine Musk is, on Twitter tweeting out the next retarded fucking thing about some judge. Like, no, I don't think there has to be any obligation. Dave Rubin could have made me look really bad, I think, on the Piers Morgan show if he would have just admitted, like, yeah, the J6 stuff was really bad, but he couldn't even do that. It's like, no, fuck, why the fuck you coming to me for sympathy? Like, fuck you. Like, you made your bed, lay in it, yeah.
I guess I see what you mean there, but I mean, like, again, like, even my dad, he's a big fan of Piers Morgan, and he watched that show, and he had no idea who you were, and he literally thought you were unhinged, and I was trying to tell my dad, like, Dad, no, like, I'm a big fan of this guy, like, he's a good guy. Like, he's a good guy. Like, you gotta believe me. Like, but like, I'm telling you, like, these normies, they'll see that, and a lot of people do watch these like hour-long like segments, and I think that's where they get their views.
It sounds like really shitty, but then at some point you have to ask, like, what is a culture worth saving? Like, I don't know if I cared to appeal as much to a guy who thinks that, like, my comment is unhinged, who can turn a blind eye to all of the other people that are being harmed in very real ways by the ongoing administration, and people that they want to harm, and the people that all the other influencers are clapping to be harmed. Like, at some point, I remember I got into a big fight with a friend over that same conversation, and they were like, you know, I'm only telling you this because I know you can do better. And I asked them, I was like, how many of your conservative friends have you had this conversation with over any of the other things? Like, well, you know, I don't talk to them. It's like, well, then fuck you. Don't ask me for this. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, yeah, no, like it's insane. Like, it's like everybody's asking us to be Jesus, except we don't come back alive after being dead for 3 days. Like, there's no point in playing that game where you give endless sympathy and charity to the other side, and then anytime something happens on our side, they think it's like an epic, hilarious meme that they control over. Like, this is ridiculous.
So I would hate to be this guy's dad, honestly. Imagine you are watching Piers Morgan with your son, the person who you gave life to, and you see Destiny's blue gremlin head come up on screen saying the most monstrous and demonic things you can possibly imagine, and you're just a normal human being who observes what is happening and says, wow, that guy's really unhinged. I don't like that guy. And your son starts saying to you, no, Dad, trust me. He's a really great guy. You got to believe me. That would surely be a moment of deep contemplation for where he went wrong for this guy's poor father. But if you listen to what Destiny's saying here, and he's dug himself into such a big hole that he has to say this sort of thing at this point. He's saying that I don't like the MAGA policies. I don't like what MAGA people do and say. I don't like conservatives and they harm people. So therefore it's no holds barred and it's gloves off. Well, I don't agree with what you guys do on the left, Destiny. I don't agree with any of the cultural decay. I don't agree with the degeneracy. I don't agree with the open borders. I don't agree with the anti-Christian sentiment. I don't agree with violent Antifa and BLM thugs. And the list goes on and on and on. So what? Do I deserve a free pass? So that's the debate. But at the end, they had a bunch of people coming and getting posters signed from Destiny. And these are fully grown men that are probably going to go and put the posters in their bedroom or something. And this was actually the music they played over it. This is not even me putting music over and trolling.
You and I are predetermined nonsense, and that's okay. You and I have predetermined consequence, and that's okay. And that's okay.
This is the worst.
So, I mean, I don't even know really what to say, guys. I mean, choose your path wisely. Anyways, that's it for today. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, if you enjoy the content, and also if you'd like to watch another one right here. Till next time, I'm Jake. This is RattlesnakeTV, keeping you armed and dangerous.